We believe here in the Andes that we are not from here. We are coming from the absolute sun. Not the sun that we can see with these eyes, but an absolute sun that can only be seen with our eye of the heart, with our third eye. Anybody, if you ask where we come from, they will tell you we come from the stars. And some people will even tell you which constellations represent the portals of arrival to this sacred planet. And often it is the Pleiades constellation. So in that process of a soul journey arriving to the earth, we are privileged, we are gifted with this life, and to experience this powerful discovery. For us, life is a constant discovery. We are this powerful essence of light coming from the absolute sun, having this lifetime being in this sacred physical body, being this consciousness in this time, in this space. And we go through a Mashkay Pacha process immediately, meaning we find out our name, we find out our family, we find out our place and time, and we are constantly discovering in life all the sacred mysteries.
Welcome to the Sacred Planet podcast. I am your host, Jocelyn Starfeather. Did you know that we are living at the end of a massive 26,000 year cycle? This is a cycle that can be defined not astrologically, but astronomically by the movement of the North Star in the sky. Every 26,000 years, we come back to the original North Star. The times that we are living in now are when one of these 26,000 year cycles is ending and a new one is beginning. And so this is why this time when we are alive right now has been foretold in the ancient prophecies of many indigenous and ancient peoples all around the world, from almost every continent. This is why the world feels so chaotic, so uncertain, and so unstable right now, because we are truly shifting from one age, one massive 26,000 year age, into a new one. We are here at this time, at this momentous time, to choose what will come next. And so let us dream into a world that our children and grandchildren and the next 7 generations will be delighted to inherit from us. And let's begin creating it one by one from within ourselves. That is where all change must begin, is from within every individual. And then it is rippled out to the world in miraculous and beautiful ways. Here in the Sacred Planet podcast, we will be talking about spiritual awakening. We will be talking about the massive changes that are happening in our world. And we will be talking, most importantly, about how you can support yourself, how you can feel most healed and healthy and whole and inspired and uplifted and ready to build this new world together, ready to choose who you wish to become next as all of the old falls away and we are left with a blank slate to create anything that we wish, anything that we dream into the future. Welcome to the Sacred Planet podcast. I can't wait to share the incredible speakers and topics that we'll be sharing here on the podcast. And I hope that it will be a tremendous inspiration to you in your own life. I am your host of the podcast. My name is Jocelyn Starfeather. I am the founder of Sacred Planet. Sacred Planet is a global community of people who are awakening to their true power and magic within and co-creating together and uplifting and inspiring one another as we build this radical new world together. I can't wait to share more with you. I'll see you soon in our next podcast episode. Much love. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sacred Planet podcast. I am your guide here, Jocelyn Starfeather, and I am thrilled today to be here with Puma Quispe Singona. Thank you so much, Puma, for being a part of this podcast and for being here with us today. And I will go ahead and just share your bio with everybody for those who may not already know you. So since being initiated by lightning at the age of 6, Puma has been on his spiritual path and mission as a Paq'o, an Andean priest. His passion is rooted in the ancestral Incan teachings and continuing his grandfather Don Maximo's legacy by sharing the ancient wisdom and medicine in his own unique, inspiring, and heartfelt way. For many years, Puma attended and facilitated international gatherings of spiritual leaders and young leaders with YES, the Youth for Environmental Sanity. Puma is also a co-founder of Cusi Huayna, or I hope I pronounced that right, Huayna, a cultural organization that teaches tradition to Quechua youth, and the founder of WILLCA, a cultural and healing center for youth in Chinchero. And Puma, I so deeply respect and honor your work, and I'm looking forward to being a part of your upcoming year-long program, which we can talk about later if you would like. And I just feel that your teachings so beautifully remind us of our infinite nature. So thank you for all that you do for us.
Thank you so much, Jocelyn. Very happy here to be sharing our sacred wisdom and powerful traditions from our ancestors.
Yes, so wonderful. So your topic for today, and again, let me know if I'm pronouncing this correctly. Is it Mashkay Pacha, Cycles of Life?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. And I would love if you might begin by just telling us a little bit about your story, that you were initiated by lightning at the age of 6, and that's just such a powerful beginning. So how was that for you? How did you understand that at the young age of 6? And how has your spiritual journey been since that time?
Thank you, Jocelyn. Here in the Andes, it is traditional that if you survive being hit by lightning, you are chosen by the gods, you are chosen by spirit to walk the path of a high priest or a high priestess. So for me, only at the age of 6 was the most powerful initiation in my life, because this was a sign for my grandfather to pass on a tradition that was being passed on for thousands of years, generation after generation. So I was privileged and I was honored to receive this lineage. So from the age 7 and on, learning about ceremony, rituals, energy work, the sacred forces of nature, of spirit, ancestral forces, cosmic forces, learning about them and being in ceremony with these powerful forces was just like playing. So it became a part of my life very early, and a way of life that just naturally I walked in service, in this path, in ceremony. So it was really fun. It was very natural. It was very special training and part of my life. Yes.
That's so beautiful. Yes. And so amazing to have had an awareness of that at age 6. And you know, our young people today don't have much idea about these kinds of rites of passage and initiations, right? So really beautiful, a really beautiful story.
For me, everything began in ceremony, and being initiated into this sacred space, sacred time, sharings with great spirit, with powerful forces of nature, with Pachamama, with our Apus, that are mountain spirits of light, was very important. And because I grew up in the family and in the community that we still have these traditions as a living tradition, was the best gift. And nowadays, this is what we want to make available for the whole planet, sharing these traditions, these rituals, these ceremonies, because we live in a global community. We live in a global family now. So everything that we have received as a legacy of our ancestors, it's also for the global family. It's also for the global community. And, you know, our grandfathers and grandmothers have kept these traditions secret or held inaccessible for most people for many centuries. And nowadays are the times, according to our prophecies, when these portals, when these books of life need to open up for the whole global family. And this is what Mashkay Pacha is about. Mashkay Pacha is about the powerful cycles in life that we go through, and the first one that we enter into as we arrive to this planet. We believe here in the Andes that we are not from here. We are coming from the absolute sun, not the sun that we can see with these eyes, but an absolute sun that can only be seen with our eye of the heart, with our third eye. And as we are coming from the stars, that's what the community, and the elders, anybody, if you ask where we come from, they will tell you we come from the stars. And some people will even tell you which constellations represent the portals of arrival to this sacred planet. And often it is the Pleiades constellation. So in that process of a soul journey arriving to the earth, we are privileged, we are gifted with this life, and to experience this powerful discovery. For us, life is a constant discovery, and it's a constant realization, constant enlightenment to who you are, who you can be. So we are this powerful essence of light coming from the absolute sun, having this lifetime being in this sacred physical body, being this consciousness in this time, in this space. And we go through a Mashkay Pacha process immediately, meaning we find out our name, we find out our family, we find out our place and time, and we're constantly discovering in life all the sacred mysteries of this life for us. So throughout life, we can go in a constant research, in a constant discovery of ourselves. That's why for us it's very important to have initiations. It's very important to have sacred beginnings and entries into different cycles of our lives. The first one is Mashkay Pacha. We believe this cycle goes anywhere from our birth time all the way till 12 or 13 years approximately. It's a time we're in a constant research. It's a time when we're in a constant integration of everything we've discovered. It's a time when we have observed life enough to have a sense of it and enough to have an intention of how we want to continue in our lives. And in that time, we're in a constant receiving. We receive from our family, from our community, from society, the way, the life, the journey, the directions. And after this cycle in Mashkay Pacha completing at 12, 13, we enter to a very special cycle. At that time, we call the Cusi Pacha. When we enter to this cycle, already in our teenagers, we are ready to create new life. And this is the time when we need to present ourselves, where we need to gift who we are from this point on to family, to community, to the planet. This is a time when we say, okay, maybe this is not my name. Maybe my name is something else. Maybe this is not who I am. Who I am is something else. So it's a time when we express, when we bloom, when we offer the powerful realizations and discoveries we've had so far about ourselves. but we're in the time to create new life with it. We're in a time to share these powerful discoveries with our whole global family, our whole global community. And this Cusi Pacha goes until around 30, 35 years. And this is a time for us to create new life. This is a time for us to even have family and have children within this time. And arrives right after this the Taripai Pacha. Taripai Pacha is a time of catching up. By this time, a new generation have arrived. By the time a new generation has arrived, also new orders, new information, new programs, new codes to life have arrived. And when we are in that stage of Taripai Pacha, we need to catch up with this new. And we enter into our elderly lives catching up with the new informations, with the new programs, with the new intelligence that this new generation has brought. And we can go with Taripai Pacha for the rest of our lives, or sometimes until we are 60s. And then from that on, we enter into Mashkay Pacha again. And by this time, we have memory of everything we have discovered. By this time, we have experienced the powerful forces, sacred spirit, and the powerful experiences in this life. And it's not enough. We want to be generous with ourselves and continue researching. We want to continue discovering more about ourselves, more about our family, our community, about the mysteries of our planet, of the cosmos. And it's a time again to bring in powerful information, powerful wisdom to our lives. For this time, for giving, no longer just receiving information, but for giving as stories, as legends, as wisdom, as traditions to the new generations. So this is the cycles of Mashkay Pacha, the cycle that we begin our life with consciously and intentionally. And the whole community, the whole family participates in this process. It used to be more conscious in ancient times, and nowadays in some communities, these traditions are already missing. And especially in some family lineages, it still continues. And they still continue working with these sacred cycles of Mashkay Pacha. And for us, a symbol of it was a crown. It was a special headband with feathers and a solar disc for your third eye being lit up, because it was usually made of gold, that you would receive as soon as you have completed your first cycle. And throughout life, you would live your life in service, co-creating new life, catching up with the new generations, and finally completing your life with great service, enlightened, fully realized, and fully enlightened. However, not knowing yourself completely. We believe that you cannot know yourself even in a whole lifetime, because it's a constant discovery. You cannot know yourself because you are yet to be. And every day there's a possibility for you to discover a new part of yourself, a new gift, a new cycle, a new face, a new personality, a new paradigm, a new vision of yourself. And we cannot complete that even in a whole lifetime. And that's why by that time you complete your life with Mashkay Pacha, you must know yourself as the divine mystery. That's who you are. Whenever somebody asks you, you are not your name, you are not these personalities that are ever changing and that are yet to be. You are only the divine mystery that cannot be completely known, that cannot be completely discovered. And this is the power, this is the journey of the soul, having this powerful experience in this human body and having the best chance, the best opportunity to be in service. Because everything that you receive, it never goes one way. You also have to give back, and you also have to gift from you, from within. So in the same way we breathe in, we also have to breathe out. In the same way we receive all these powerful blessings in life, we also need to transmit them consciously. That's why we say that the most important purpose of our life here is to be in service, is to support, is to assist the life processes, the life journeys and life experiences of our brothers and sisters. And that's why in that essence, we choose to be medicine people, we choose to be healers. And that way we can assist spiritually, energetically, through our rituals, through our ceremonies of life. Whether, here we have a special essences through which we share this sacred nature. For example, here you must always be able to heal somebody, whether it's a little, scratch or a little cut or some small accident. You need to be able to cure the physical body. Or if it's a huge accident, a big trauma, a big shock, using medicinal plants, using energy, using prayers. And the second one is you need to be able to feed people. You need to be able to share your meals. You need to be able to share what you eat, what you drink with a brother, with a sister from the community, from the global family, global community. And that way you are fulfilling this sacred service here on Pachamama. The third one is even more important. You need to be able to be an assistant. You need to be able to help somebody lift whatever heavy that they're carrying and make it light for them. Guide them home, guide them in life, giving them a direction. These were the most important ways of being in service here. And you can receive these powerful gifts in life, as well as you can transmit these powerful gifts to family and community in sacred ceremony, in sacred service.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this, and what beautiful ways you're speaking about here, that we can be in service to one another and the planet. And I'm curious, does everyone have a purpose? Is everyone meant to be in service to the planet in some way?
Yes, we all come with a specific soul purpose, and the main soul purpose is to be in service, is to fulfill this mission of being in service. And then we don't come with only that purpose. Then we also come with many complementary purposes and missions. And, they can be different according to what our soul agrees to at the moment of conception, at the moment of arriving to this life. And, we choose our parents, we choose our journey, we choose even the challenges we might face throughout life, all the different blessings we would like to manifest, and all of those as potentials, powerful potentials in our life. And we fulfill some of them, usually, but not all of them. And if we had chosen the very hardest, the most difficult challenges in life, we have the possibility with our free will to change those soul agreements and make our path more gentle, make our path more blessed. Because some of us, because of our warrior spirit, because of our warrior essence, we have chosen challenge after challenge, battle after battle. And in life, you can always battle or you can always dance. So sometimes you need to choose to dance with all the experiences in life instead of always battling even against yourself, which is what comes up from a lot of these hard, difficult processes. So the mission that we have often, the most important one, has to do with love, falling in love, being in love, loving and being loved, being in service, facilitating processes, building, constructing, helping, guiding, support others, feeding others, healing others. And after that, many complementary purposes. Some of us come here to change whole paradigms, whole visions. Some of us come here to heal the whole planet, the whole global family, global community. Some of us come here to learn how to carve stones and be the best, or carve the wood, or work with elements. Some of us come here to design, only to design, like the architects of life. And all of those are complementary purposes. We always believe that our fundamental purpose is to be in service, is to be in love.
Beautiful, beautiful. I remember you saying one time that the Quechua words for dance and battle are the same. Is that accurate?
Yes, the word is tinkui.
Okay.
Tinkui means to dance, and at the same time it means to battle. It's a very special wisdom we have here, because it applies especially to relationships. When there are couples that are going through different processes in life, they always have to go through tinkui, which is either a battle or a dance. And when you know that you have a choice for either of them, doesn't mean you will not ever have the battle, but you could always choose to dance. It brings more harmony, it brings more joy, it brings more love into the relationships, and also a more gentle process.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's a really beautiful paradigm shift in and of itself right there. So really wonderful. Yes, I'm curious to going back a bit to the cycles of time. For those who are, have been brought up in the modern world and, have not had rites of passage and have not been aware of these cycles and stages that we move through, how can we bring these into our life now that we're becoming aware of them? What do you recommend?
For these initiations, those times that we shared are referential. They were not set as that. And I believe nowadays it has completely changed because all our processes have accelerated. I think we are already in our time to catch up by the time we're 20, literally. And we already have come with a complete self-realization and discovery and enlightenment by the time we're 3. So it's changed, and these times change. Some of us have never left Mashkay Pacha. We're still searching, it's been 50 years, it's been 60 years, and we're still searching who we are, why we are here, when in Incan times, 500, 600 years ago, you had to know that by the time you were 12 or 13, because that would have set completely the direction in your life. Some of us don't ever leave these cycles. Some of us choose to stay in them for longer times, whether we do that consciously or unconsciously. So what I usually recommend is that we give ourselves those initiations, that we give ourselves that time when we have been in Mashkay Pacha, when we have accepted our name, our family, we have received everything from the universe, and we enter into a Cusi Pacha cycle. So we give ourselves another initiation where we say in return, in gratitude, as an offering back to the universe, back to family, back to community, this is who I am now. This is who I choose to be. This is what I'm offering. This is my life. This is my love. This is my service. And then, just for the fun of it, we have to enter to the Taripay Pacha, because it's always fun to discover everything we have to catch up with, and to be passionate about this life, to be passionate about the journey of humanity and our ancestry and our directions in the future. And all of that is like super powerful for us to catch up with. And then these initiations, we need to give ourselves, even in a whole year, we can give ourselves these 3 initiations. We don't need to be set in the age or time cycles that our ancestors had. There are no protocols for that. It's just reference. It's just what our ancestors did. The reality is we are being initiated in life. When we're not conscious with these initiations are happening as powerful experiences in our life, that we have experienced throughout life. Sometimes some of these initiations, as blissful, as powerful, as transcendental as they can also be shocking, they can also be intense, they can also be traumatizing. So in order for these initiations to be in harmony, to be more gentle on us, because we always ask for the more gentle medicine. This is our lineage, this is our medicine. We have had the hard processes, we have had the hard initiations. The first one was when we were born, and in one breath, we had to take in all the process of our family, our community, and it was overwhelmingly shocking, intense, and even traumatizing, that first initiation. So we always say it can be gentle after that. Your second and third breath can be of bliss, can be of love. So to give ourselves these initiations in the most loving ways, in the most gentle ways.
Yes, beautiful. I do think that's so important to recognize that we, in ancient times, we might have been in the temples and receiving these initiations in a very formalized way. And now in our lives, we're still receiving those initiations, but it comes through these life events and family events and world events that impact us. So we're all on that journey together, really.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I wonder if you would be willing to speak about the longer cycles of time, the Pachakutis, and what does that mean for us today to have this knowledge of the longer cycles of time?
Here in the Andes, there was an astronomical record keeping of these great cycles. We call them Pachakutis. They can be of 500 years, they can be of 2,000 years cycles. They can be of 12,000 years or 28,000 years cycles. They were powerful eras, they were powerful cycles in life. And nowadays, we still have access to a lot of these cycles thanks to astronomical observatories from the pre-Incan times that were, some of the knowledge is missing. But when we go to these ancient temples, we can always decode what was programmed in those temples. One of the things that when we celebrate every year with the lights and shadows in some of these stone carved astronomical observatories, it's amazing how it works precisely to the minute, marking these equinox and these solstice times. And a lot of the Archaeologists say, the axis of our planet has changed in all those thousands of years. And by this time, these astronomical observatories should no longer be as precise because they're on a mountainside, they're on the living rock of the planet. And that's why, our ancestors, when they built these astronomical observatories, they were not keeping records of the journey of the sun in 1 year. They were rather keeping records of the lifetime of the sun or the lifetime of our planet. And from what is very close to us in this region of the mountains, we believe we are in the cycle before the last here on our Mother Earth. And these great cycles involve hundreds of thousands of years. So we are the humanity before the last humanity in our Pachamama. And we have just gone through a cycle of 12,000 years of purification. Before that time, civilizations were highly advanced. They were, their consciousness was evolved. They were completely awake to the sacred technologies, to the formulas of the cosmos, to the secrets of the cosmos. And because they broke many cosmic laws in that time, apparently they've put the life of our Pachamama in danger. They were stealing her vitality to take it somewhere else. And Pachamama is protected by powerful cosmic gardeners, cosmic forces, cosmic intelligence, we will call it. And these cosmic gardeners ordered the 4 elements on Pachamama to completely wipe out this humanity and only to save a few seeds for the continuity of life in this planet. And they were planted back in different parts of our planet, like the 7 seeds, like the 7 rays of the sun that are going to take on or live on the rainbow lineage. Only one of those rays was planted here in the Andean part. The rest of the lineages are in different parts of our planet where they founded the most, powerful ancient cultures also. And this humanity was surviving, was saved only with one program. And the program for 12,000 years was every generation will be less evolved than the last. So evolution, generation after generation, evolution was less and less and less. We were sort of put to sleep constantly for thousands of years. And we had no access to a lot of these technologies, to a lot of this science, to a lot of this knowledge. Of course, for some chosen people, even within that cycle, they were always able to free themselves from that program, and they were able to liberate themselves to absolute awakening and absolute evolution. And that's why they were powerful geniuses, they were leaders, they were powerful leaders throughout this time. Even my grandfather in his lineage as a healer, he used to say, I exist from a time before that program or a time after this program, meaning he was always free and he was not being put to sleep. And that program is complete. It was complete by the beginning of this new millennia. And we're entering now into a new era, into a new times, to what is going to be for us absolute awakening, absolute evolution. We have now a new program. According to some prophecies, around the time that the Mayan calendar was marking, 2012, here in the south, we have had an earthquake that year in Chile. And apparently that earthquake was so strong that it shook the axis of our planet. The proof of that is in some astronomical observatories, where I was there a week before the earthquake, and those observatories were working to precision. When I returned after a week after the earthquake, there was a tilt, a slight tilt from these precise astronomical observatories. So something changed, something moved. A little change in the microcosmos is a huge change in the macrocosmos. So that little tilt was a confirmation that indeed we entered into a new era, into a new times, where we have no choice but to be awake, where we have no choice but to be evolved, where we have no choice but to be in that superior consciousness. So we are within that time now, already some years into this new era, and everything we are experiencing globally, everything we are experiencing individually is accelerated processes of transformation, of self-realization, and of discoveries. Powerful healing processes have been activated.
Yes, I think we're all feeling that quite strongly these days. And so that's why we're feeling this. There's chaos and just seems like very rapid change at this time, right?
My grandfather used to say, in that time, in the new era, I will not be here, but you will be. And he must have known something when he used to speak about it. But he left, he transitioned in 2008. And he used to say, you will be here for when those times arrive. He only used to tell me, you will see and you will meet the last generations of the unevolved humanity. So you will see the worst, and you will see the new generations, the new consciousness, the new evolutions of humanity realizing itself, being born or realizing itself. And you will also see the best of humanity. So it will be lots of chaos. In his stories also, and in some elders, they used to say there will be lots of natural events with earthquakes, fires, and whirlwinds, the same way that these new programs arrived thousands of years ago. In the same way, nature will be very present. So there was a lot of fear. In fact, there is still a little fear in many communities with these prophecies of earthquakes and of floodings, and with all these fast, accelerated, rapid, sudden, almost unpredictable climate changes. So that's why he used to say, these are times when we need to be more conscious of nature. These are times when we need to be more conscious of our planet. She's alive, she's intelligent, and she is conscious of you. If you are conscious of our planet, if you're conscious of Mother Earth, then together in that consciousness, we can arrive to terms where some of these hard processes can become more subtle, more seamless. You know, the huge transition just happened for us recently with all these viruses, with the pandemics. So literally, that's how subtle we want these transformations to be. Not even though it was intense emotionally, psychologically, because of the fear and because of the grief. Those of us who are here, we need to always ask for more gentle processes. But for that, we need to have strong communion with Mother Earth first.
Yes. Can you tell us about Pachamama?
Pachamama is our sacred mother. And she is the mother not only of us human beings, but of all living beings in this planet, animals, plants, all kingdoms of life. And we consider, according to our traditions, that they are our older brothers and sisters, the plants, the animals, and we are the youngest species here in the planet. So we need to live in a constant respect with nature. We need to live in a constant communion calling on, the plants, the animals, sacred nature, elements like water, fire, air, earth. We need to constantly call on them as part of our family, as part of our circle. And we need to sit in ceremony together and share, whatever we're eating, whatever we're drinking, even just with the breath, even just with intent. And that's the way we live life. This is the way our ancestors have left for us these legacies of constantly connecting to Pachamama with every breath, intentionally. Life is a ceremony because it's always sacred. Every time, every space is the gift of the Cosmic Father and the Cosmic Mother, so it's sacred. And that way we can live a more blessed life. We just need to remember that we are always in ceremony and that Pachamama is always in ceremony with us. She is constantly taking care of our emotional processes, psychological process, physical process. Apparently, sometimes when the clouds change and they get very dark, just before the rain, in that moment, Mother Earth is processing all our emotional processes, our anger, our frustration, our fears, our doubts. That's why the skies get very dark, just before the rain or the storms fall down. And that's Mother Earth's emotional process that she's cleansing for us. Apparently, when the earth trembles, when we have earthquakes, for example, powerful processes of the physical body are being shifted. Like when there is too much disease in the communities or in some regions, all of that energy needs to be transformed. And that's why these sudden shivers of Mother Earth happen to clear away whatever has been affecting our physical health. So Pachamama is here for us, ever blessing the food that we eat, ever blessing our physical body to be strong. Whether we are in the big cities, whether we are, always in the top floor of these skyscrapers, or whether we are at a mountaintop, we are always standing on Mother Earth's hands, on Mother Earth's force. So we need to connect with that land, with that soil, with our feet in the ground firmly, and just say, thank you, Pachamama, for being here for me. And that gratitude becomes a powerful offering. And that's the beginning of a strong communion. So Mother Earth starts manifesting to you through your dreams first. Then it becomes like it is for us. We've been trained in our traditions to see Pachamama in the infinite manifestations of her in our lives. And we just recognize Mother Earth constantly, every day when we are in ceremony. We see her, we talk with her, we share with her. But before we know how to do that, she will manifest in our dreams. So that's how we need to have a nicer, a much stronger relationship with this powerful planetary presence, with this powerful star presence. Because our Pachamama, our sacred planet, is also a stellar being, is part of a cosmic family. So for that reason, she's a goddess here in the Andes. And we've always lived a life so closely to her.
Yes, yes. How can we tell if she's showing up in our dreams? What can we look for?
Usually in our dreams, Pachamama shows up as somebody with a regalia, like some type of costume. That's why in the originary communities, indigenous communities, native communities, there is a specific regalia, a specific costume. If, for us, it's very easy because she's using a special round hat, a special hat that represents she's, a goddess, or sometimes she's covered with a blanket. But for you in the cities, I'll give you a hint. It could be somebody who's wearing a suit or like a gown dress, somebody that is looking very elegant. And it could manifest as somebody in your family, like a sister, an aunt, or somebody you don't know. But usually those official costumes, official clothes represent Pachamama.
Beautiful. That's so interesting. Thank you for sharing that. I do feel it's just so important to know that we have all of this support and protection around us at this time, as we do feel the chaos, as we do feel the initiations happening in our own lives, right? And so Pachamama is always with us, and also the animals and the plants being always with us I feel is so important. I know for me personally, I felt so alone in life for decades, until I realized that I'm always surrounded by my guides, by these animals and ancestors and angels. And so how can we, as a last question here, how do you recommend that we connect in with those guides, strengthen our communication and our relationships with them to help us navigate today?
Like in the ancient cultures, it begins with prayer. It begins with intent. If you have such a strong intention of creating this alliance with our family in nature, with our family in spirit, with our family in the cosmos, you just need to call on them. If you don't know who to call on, you need to get the help of ancient cultures. They have had so many deities. They were very generous with their gods. That's the difference of the paradigms nowadays. We don't have enough gods in our lives. And they made of spirit around them so many presences. They personified the divine masculine and the divine feminine in the animal kingdom, in the plant kingdom, in the spirit kingdoms, in the cosmic kingdoms. Sometimes we call on for our divine feminine, Venus, the Pleiades. For the divine masculine, we call on Mars, we call on Jupiter. And interestingly enough, a very powerful alliance is possible nowadays, beginning on Wednesday, as there is a conjunction for us, for the planet of Jupiter and Venus, both powerful presences of the divine feminine and divine masculine that are going to mark a powerful alliance for the rest of this year and years to come, because these planets coming this close together, like become, they're the brightest stars. So two of them coming together will make it even brighter. So it's going to be very special for us to call on these cosmic spirits. Maybe if you can research in ancient cultures what their gods, what their deities were called and who they represented. In every ancient culture, there is a reference and there is a portal to powerful alliances in spirit. They just might be called differently in different cultures, but they're the same essence, they're the same presence. And everything will lead you constantly to life that is in spirit, that is timeless here on Mother Earth, and to life that is in spirit and that is timeless throughout the universe. So just call on them, invite them into your life with your prayers. Ask for support, guidance, healing, whatever that you need. It's okay to ask. And soon they will start showing up.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Puma, for all that you've shared here. This has been really rich and powerful wisdom that you are giving to us. And I know you have a wonderful free gift for us that's called the Medicine of the Crystals. Would you like to say a few words about that so everybody can know a little more about it?
I hope you enjoy. The crystals are powerful gems. They are the best gifts of Mother Earth to us. They have one nature when they were created. They can only conduct highly refined energy. A crystal cannot conduct heavy energy or it breaks. Its nature is to only conduct light. So when we work with the crystals, that's the first and best benefit we're receiving, which is we are calling in highly refined energy that can heal us, that can liberate us from whatever hardships.
Oh, can you hear me? I think we lost the connection here. Can you hear me at all, Puma? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Oh. Oh. Ah, you're back. Yay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I
Our
guess
Rockstar Appus
it's complete.
disconnected us.
Okay, well, do you want to say that again about the crystals?
Yes.
So we'll have it all in one piece. That would be great. Then I can edit it.
Okay. Crystals are the best gifts of Pachamama for us. When they were created with one nature. They can only conduct highly refined energy. They can only conduct light. No heavy energy can pass through a crystal, or it simply breaks. So for us, when we work with crystals, we're calling in powerful healing energy, highly refined energy that is going to bring to us only blessings. So this is the medicine of the crystals. I hope you enjoy.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for this gift. And everybody watching, if you scroll down just below this video, you will find the link for that wonderful free gift. And I have seen the video that's part of that gift, and it's just really amazing, really beautiful. So thank you, Puma. And is there anything that you would like to share with everybody about where can we find you online? Do you have any upcoming tours or programs you would like us to know about?
I'd like to invite you to be part of our Nokankani global community. We have beautiful classes, teachings of our rituals, of our ceremonies, especially our healing practices. And nowadays, we also have the link to some of the journeys we have programmed. You know, they're always magical, they're always life-changing, to the powerful portals, temples of ancient Peru. So welcome to our global community.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we will include your website link here right below the video as well, so people can easily find you there. Well, thank you again so much, Puma, for your time today. It has just been a joy to speak with you. Thank you for all the wisdom and inspiration that you are bringing to the world.
Thank you, Jocelyn.
Have a wonderful rest of your day.